Let's talk trade wars, shall we? I'm Melissa Franks, your On Call COO, and we are going to be talking about what's happening in the economy today between the United States and, well, just about anybody else. I am an expert in growing, scaling, and optimizing small businesses. And the one thing that is very, very true right now with the uncertainty in the global economy is that small businesses are going to be most severely impacted in the very near term. And here's why. Big businesses, big corporations, they can absorb disruption. They can wait to increase prices. They can weather the storm of increased in raw materials. Why is that? A variety of reasons, some of which are that they have robust and specific investment strategies. They, generally speaking, have a good amount of liquid cash on hand and can get more by selling off some of their investments if they need to. They can absorb 10 or 15, or in some cases, even 25% tariffs for a while. And when I say a while, I mean a few years. They can absolutely absorb this whiplash that we have of should we, shouldn't we, today, tomorrow, not this week, next week on the tariff situation. Main Street businesses, small businesses of all kinds, cannot. Small businesses are heavily impacted by economic change, uncertainty, regulation updates, and the loss of access to labor, raw materials, shipping channels. And so what's happening now is as the EU is putting massive tariffs on many things, as China is doing the same, and Canada, depending on which day of the week it is or is not, small business owners are scared. And if you are a small business owner or you do business with small businesses, here is some advice for you. Number one, hoard your cash. Now is not the time to make big investments. Now is not the time to make a massive pivot in your business. Now is not the time to buy wildly and hope that there is going to be demand, because the truth is that the trade wars are also going to impact the people buying from you. So what you don't know now is two things: the buying capacity of your customers and clients, and the cost of goods that you're going to experience simultaneously. So hoard cash, number one. Number two, build a plan to increase your prices. And this is going to need to be a little bit of a what if scenario situation. You're going to need to evaluate where you get goods from and determine if they are 10% or 15% or 25% more expensive, how much you can absorb in the business versus how much you're going to need to pass on to the consumer, and then build a strategy to increase prices over time. If you know that you cannot absorb a 25% price increase and you need to pass that entire thing onto the customer, the best thing is for you to change the prices incrementally. It does a few things. It buys you time. It buys all of these governments time to figure themselves out, and it also helps adjust your customers. What I wouldn't recommend is every month your products are priced a new price. What I would recommend is that you build out a plan for the next 12 to 18 months of staggered price increases, understanding that the landscape could change at any time, and so does your strategy. Hoard cash. Develop a strategic view on your pricing. The third thing that you should be doing right now is evaluating the profitability of everything that you sell. Are you actually making money? What is the fully loaded cost of goods sold? And are you making a profit? For anything where the answer is no, and it is not an intentional loss leader, and a loss leader is something that you sell at a loss because you know when somebody buys that, they buy a bigger ticket thing and it all works out in the wash. So for anything where you're not making a profit or your profit is incredibly slim and it is not an intentional loss leader, you need to consider tabling it for now. You could bring it back. You could reformulate it and bring it back in a different instantiation. You could do limited time sort of sense of urgency offers. There's a variety of tactics you can employ. You don't need to make it go forever just right now. When the intentionality of keeping your business viable long-term is the focus, it's not the time to give things away for free or give them away at a loss. And the very last thing that you should do is pay attention and not become consumed. There will be economic uncertainty for years to come. And what first 2 months of this presidency have proved to us is that we can't predict what's going to happen next. We can't predict how that will impact your business. We can't predict how it's going to impact the global economy. Because we cannot predict that, what we can do is shore up our resources. What we can do is make sure that we are running our businesses as profitably as possible. What we can do is make smart decisions around cash management and investments. What we can do is find alternatives and plan Bs and plan Cs. Panicking is going to get you nowhere. Flash sales, also not going to get you anywhere. And taking a page out of the COVID books and stockpiling toilet paper and paper towels and masks and gloves, that analogy, whatever those items are in your business, that's not going to help you either. It's being smart and strategic and watching and paying attention to what the big businesses are doing. They are going to light the way for you. They're going to tell you what they are experiencing so that you can adjust before you experience it. These trade wars will be impactful to your business and to you in your home. Being smart, being strategic, asking for help from experts, and avoiding panic at all cost is how you're going to come out the other side intact and whole, and probably with still having some cash in your pocket.